Hi, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. I am so happy to be here, so happy to finally be filming this. I've been wanting to do this forever, and this is really a topic that I feel so strongly about, and that is super important to me. If you couldn't tell by the title of my video, I'm going to be talking about my faith deconstruction and how and why I left the Mormon church. I really hope that this resonates with whoever clicks on this video. I just want to say that I have been wanting to make this video for other people who are struggling with leaving the church and with problems in the church that they just can't look past. That's really just my goal here, and also to just spread information, because honestly, there is not a lot of information or videos out there about people talking about leaving the church and some of the really problematic things that happen within the church. So I really hope to do that for you today, and I really hope you listen along. So just to give a little bit of background, I was born into the Mormon church. I grew up in a very religious, kind of strict Mormon family. I have 3 other siblings, which I know isn't a huge family for Mormons. I was born in Salt Lake City, Utah, shocker. I lived there for a while. I moved over to Tucson, Arizona, and then moved to Florida for a little bit, moved to Minnesota, and now I'm currently in Washington State, where I spent majority of my life growing up. The experience inside the church where I grew up was actually, I'd say, a lot more progressive than other churches. I have been to some really scary Utah wards that I felt absolutely kind of sick to my stomach being in, because they were just so, I guess, closed-minded. So my ward in Wenatchee, Washington, which is where I grew up, was, like I said, pretty progressive for the most part. I actually grew up with a bishop that was pretty okay. He was a really loving person to me. And I think that's why I stayed in the church for as long as I did, which was up until I was around 17, 18. I'm leaving out a pretty big part of this story, which actually was the main reason why I ended up leaving the church. And that is that I found out I was gay a few years ago. It was probably my junior year of high school. I was around 17 when I realized I am definitely gay. Definitely gay. I just really wanted to, I guess, explore my sexuality then. And I developed a really strong crush for a girl on my dance team. I had crushes here and there on girls, but nothing was like this, because I knew she was openly queer. And so I explored that for a while, and it was really interesting for me. And of course, I was terrified about it. Absolutely terrified. I thought, what is my church gonna think about this? What is my family gonna think about this? How do I fit into God's plan anymore because I am this way? Anyway, to fast forward a little bit, I started dating this girl that I had the crush on, and I was still in the church. I had a lot of cognitive dissonance when I walked into the church building and heard these talks about what the family should look like, what the ideal family should look like, according to the proclamation of the world, and many other passages, of course, but that was one of the main ones. Over time, I ended up growing more and more resentful towards the church and towards the people that were sharing these ideas. And honestly, just even towards myself, because I had so much inner conflict. I was like, how could I be this way? And how could I also be still going to church? And how could I almost be living this double life? Eventually, it's almost like my shelf broke and I snapped. My relationship with the church wasn't something I could uphold anymore, with me being in my relationship with another woman, and with me knowing who I am and coming to terms with my sexuality and loving myself for that sexuality. And I was so proud of myself for coming out and being with someone willingly. At one point, I couldn't go to church anymore and hear another comment about how the ideal family should look. It really broke me, because that was all I knew. I grew up in the church. This was all I knew. So I ended up leaving the church in the summer of, I believe, 2022. I just gradually kind of stopped going to things, kind of stopped going to Mutual, stopped going to church. Some people really pushed for me to come back to church, and of course, that's just what the church does. That's what the members do, is they're told that we sinners are going off the path and we are becoming worldly and wicked, and we are leaving the church because we want to sin or live this wicked lifestyle, which I think is absolutely bizarre, because that is not true in any way, for me at least, and for a lot of people that I know that have left the church. So I had a lot of people reaching out to me and texting me saying, hey, we miss you. Please come back to church. Like, we haven't seen you in a while, we want to talk, stuff like that. Which at first I was like, okay, that's sweet that they're checking up on me, but it came to a point where it was almost harassment. I had said, I am taking a break, I really don't want you guys reaching out to me anymore in the nicest way possible, and they just wouldn't listen. I think that in the church, for those of you that have grown up in the Mormon church or know of the things being taught, you are told that people who leave are just being led astray and are led off of the chosen path. That's what people really thought of me. They said, oh, she wants to live this worldly lifestyle. We need to reel her back in and show her what her true path is, which I think is, again, bizarre. Of course, I grew up like that, so I can understand where their heads are at, but it's only when you leave the Mormon church, or honestly, any high demand religion, where you realize, no, I didn't leave because of this. I didn't leave because I wanted to sin or fulfill my worldly lifestyle. I left because there was so much dissonance that I couldn't make sense of the church anymore. Or I left because horrifically problematic and hurtful things were being said in the church. You know, there are so many different valid reasons why people leave the church, but a lot of the times the messages being told in the Mormon church is they are sinful, they are wicked, they are being led astray by Satan, and they will always know that the church is true and the righteous path, I guess. That message was just so pushed to me, at least when I was growing up. And so that was the message we were taught. We were taught that those people that leave the church, oh, poor them, you know, they will never know true righteousness, true joy, true happiness. But it's funny because as I reflect upon that now, I realize that I hadn't felt true joy, true happiness, true authenticity until I left the church. And I think a lot of people who are now ex-Mormons who have left the church, or any high demand religion, like I said, can understand that. And I think a lot of times find so much more peace and happiness and joy in leaving the church. So basically, here I am at age 20, living with my girlfriend in an apartment together. I know, crazy. I never thought I would be doing this as a Mormon growing up. I always thought I'd be married in the temple by this age to a man and be starting a family. But that is truly never what I wanted. That's just what I thought I wanted. Truly, this is my happiness. Where I'm at in my life right now is the path that I truly want to be on. I have so many ideas to talk about, you know, me leaving the church and my thoughts on it, my perspectives, my experiences. I want to dive deeper into a lot of these things. And this was kind of just an introductory video, kind of to let you guys know who I am and my journey up until this point. And of course, I don't have enough time to expound on every single thing that has happened, but I do just want to put out a video to let people know that this is my story and I want to talk about it, and I want to shed a light on very important topics in the church, because let's be honest, deconstructing a religion is so difficult. And I wish that I had videos like this of people that were maybe like-minded talking about these things and about their experiences. And so I want to be that person for other young people who are leaving the church because they see this just doesn't work out for my life. This is problematic. I just have so much to talk about, and I really cannot wait for my journey here on YouTube and for sharing with you guys my experiences. And I'm so happy that you guys have watched to this point. You guys are amazing. Anyway, stay tuned for more videos. I guess subscribe if you'd like to see more videos of me coming out. And if you have any ideas or something you would like me to specifically touch on, I would absolutely love that feedback. So just let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much, and I really hope to see you in the future. Bye!